Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Becky and we are back to do a layout. We are going to work with the stuff that we ended up piling up on the desk last time we had a cleanup video. I cleaned up, left this pile here with the intention of doing a layout with whatever I had left, because this is stuff I didn't want to go put up. So yes, we're making a layout with it. So right here I am just trying to pick out things that I think coordinate together. I am going to be using some of this Heidi swap with the vellum envelopes with the tag in it. Well, I did pull one out. It says breathe. Spoiler alert, we aren't going to end up using it, only because it got lost on my desk somewhere and I did not remember to put it on the page. So we're just going to continue going through the stack, trying to see what would work and what would not work. I love that zip strip. It is like a navy blue, and it has all these little hearts on it. The problem is it runs horizontally. So if you want to do it up and down, your hearts are sideways. So I haven't had the opportunity to put it on a page yet. I have played with it a lot, and it's not usually in my, wheelhouse or whatever to keep, however you would say it, to keep a whole bunch of zip strips or branding strips, because I don't use them that often. But when there are some that I super love, I will keep those. So I got that navy blue one, and I also have this little strip of wood grain. That wood grain I don't think is a branding strip. I think that's just a long strip that I cut off of a paper. I'm not sure. So these are in our final final layout options, what I pulled out right there as far as papers go. This I actually kept out for the other side. It was a striped piece, but when I flipped it over, I saw these, and they look like little sunbursts, right? Well, they do not. When I go and try to actually use them as embellishments, they look like over easy eggs. So they don't end up making it on the page. I do sit here and cut several of them out, thinking I could at least use them as cluster bases, right? No, they look too much like eggs. And now, while the photo I'm going to be scrapbooking is a photo of Kathy and I out to lunch. We did not have eggs. We had salad. Also, I don't think I want eggs on my layout. So there you go. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. So I can't use those as little sunbursts at this point in time, because I've already seen the over easy egg. So it is Wednesday. I am sitting outside to do my voiceover. Of course, it's not morning. It is afternoon time. I brought all the puppies inside. They're inside running around, except for one. I am actually missing a puppy, I just found out. He's probably hiding under the porch. So I know I'm a very bad pet mom, and I need to go find puppy number 7. Also, if anybody would like to adopt a puppy, hello. I know, right? They're driving me nuts. I love them. Okay, so we are going to be using that mint paper with the, what is that even called? That it looks like a link fence on the background. I am going to use that, and I am also going to be using this striped piece of paper as well. I did try to put that other little strip down under there because it still has the branding strip on it, and I thought the branding strip was kind of cute. I am actually going to pull that out. I'm going to change my mind, be like, meh, nah. Right here I am just putting the stuff around on the page, seeing if I can come up with a layout design in my head, see if something strikes my fancy. So far it's not happening too much, except for I do think that I want to have that striped paper over to the left hand side. That's pretty much all that has come out. I did have this stamp set out because I'm missing a couple stamps on it I need to find, so I did leave this sitting out, but it says thankful for a friend like you, I think is what this ends up saying, what the stamp says. So that works out for my photos. So when I saw the stamp, when I decided I was going to use a stamp, I went to my photos and pulled out some photos of Kathy and I, because I knew I had some that I needed to scrapbook. We are going to go with these lunch photos, which, of course, my big fat face is in the forefront of these ones, but this is actually more about Kathy, the layout anyways, because it says thankful for a friend like you, I think is what that stamp says. So this is the photo that we will be using. Now also, when I cleaned up my desk, you can see right there the corner rounder was on my desk for some reason, so I left that out, and I'm like, okay, we're going to use this corner rounder on this layout as well. I'm going to go ahead and trim this down just a little bit. I feel like I don't keep 4x6 photos 4x6 very often. Usually my photos end up being just weird sizes. Someday I'm probably going to regret trimming down my photos so much because I'm probably losing bits and pieces in the background that don't mean anything to me now, but looking back in the future might have meant something to me, or looking forward into the future, it might have meant something to me. Does that make any sense? I'm probably not making any sense. I'll probably regret my decision of cutting down my photos all the time, basically is what I'm saying. I am going to go ahead and mount this on that mint piece of cardstock. We're going to go ahead and trim it down with, what is that? Less than, is probably about an 1/8 inch, between an 1/8 and a 1/4 inch, maybe 5/16, I don't know, around the photo. And then we're going to use the corner rounder again. Y'all, so I stopped the recording because I heard a noise, because I'm sitting outside on the front porch. So I look over and look under the couch. It's a patio furniture couch. We don't have a living room couch outside. But anyways, I look over there and it was George stretching. So I found puppy number 7. His name is George, and I found him. I've been hollering his name, and he's so deep asleep he hasn't even heard me hollering. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and trim off this branding strip as well. I think being out here talking, doing this voiceover, I think my voice might have woken him up. That's why, because it's so prolonged, right? I'm talking a lot. I'm not just yelling, George, George. So I think all that talking woke him up. So thank you guys for help finding George. I am going to go ahead and pull out some ink. I'm going to pull out the sapphire ink. I love this sapphire ink. I think, when did this come out? I think sapphire came out like maybe 2 years ago. I remember when it first came out, you guys are probably sick of seeing sapphire on everything, because I absolutely love it. And we're going to go ahead and use it again for this stamp. What did I say? I thought it said, thank goodness for a friend like you, I think. Right there, I'm just rubbing it on my skin, getting it all nice and seasoned, so hopefully it will stamp well. Now, I did what you're really not supposed to do, I guess, from what I hear. People say that you should do a like a test stamp first. I don't. If the stamp is brand new, I will. But I've used this stamp before. I remember this came in a card kit, a close to my heart card kit. So, if it's something I hadn't used before, probably I might have done a test stamp. More often than not, I don't. And if it doesn't stamp good, then I just have a not good stamp on my project, right? I'm not going to be super finicky and whatever about it, because who has that kind of time? Okay, so right here I am going to go ahead and ink the edges of my papers. I'm going to ink the edges of most of the papers I put down. I don't think I miss any. And when I'm inking on this layout, not particularly this piece of paper, but like around the other papers I put on there that I have corner round, I pay a little close attention to the corner. I want to get a little bit more ink on that corner piece. I don't know why, I just thought that would be a nice little touch. So we're going to be doing that on the corner pieces, the rounded corner pieces that we ink on this layout. See, here's where I decided. I put it down and I was like, you know what, that could look better. That could look, we could add something to that. So that's what I went ahead and did. We're paying just a little bit more attention in the corners. Getting a little bit more ink on there. So we have, this is our layout is starting. We have got our photo ready. We got our little title, thank goodness for a friend like you. I am going to go ahead and corner around those. I am using, what is this called? A corner chomper, I think, or something like that. It has a 1/4 inch round on it, and it has a 1/2 inch round on it, and I'm using the 1/2 inch. Here's where I pull those out. See, sunny side eggs. I do play around with it for a little bit, but those eggs do not stay on there for very long at all. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and go through some embellishments that we have sitting up there. I have them in a jar. I liked this one, the Good Times. I thought that green looked kind of kind of close to the green that's in that striped paper, but I kind of also feel like it's competing a little bit too much with the mint that I put on there. And because I backed my photo in mint, I have my title on mint, we're going with mint, right? That color that's in the background on the striped paper, the green one, we're just going to end up ignoring that. I did pull out that little sun again because it's so cute. And I also had this gold ribbon on my desk. I did put a little loop of that through that tag. And here are some little leaves. I cut these out of one of the dies I have that are from Close to My Heart. I don't remember which one. I'll put it in the comments if I remember to check. But I had colored these with ink for a different project, and so I went ahead and pulled, see, that's my little thing of embellishments that were just sitting on my desk that I've had out over the past, couple weeks. There's also some scrap papers in there, which is where I'm going to pull some of my papers from. These adorable cutout flowers, they're so intricate, they're so pretty, and I've been trying to get them on a page for the past month, and I have not been able to get them on a page. I might end up just doing a simple basic card that I just have that on the front of with a thank you or something, because I really want to use that. But they're so pretty. I really want them to be this star, right? So I think maybe them standing alone on a simple card might make me happy, because I haven't been able to get them on a layout just yet. They just never work. I am going to try it on here though. You can see right there I did go away and pull out one of my label punches. I'm going to use the big label in the middle. A lot of us have got that label punch. You could just pick it up at Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, any of the big stores. You can find it on Amazon. But I mostly use that big label, and then there's a skinny label above it that I use sometimes. That little teeny tiny label that's the third label that's on that punch. Does anybody ever use that? I haven't had an opportunity or chance, or maybe that should be a challenge for me. Use the small label. I don't know. I did find in here another one of those word phrase stickers that's been bouncing around my desk for the past couple weeks. I've been trying to use. That was from Heidi Swap. I can't remember what this one says. I think it's about exploring or discovering. I don't have this layout directly in front of me right now. Like I said, I am sitting outside. Right here, I am pulling mostly some of those tan bits out. They are, well, what color would you say that? I think they're craft color. I think Close to My Heart might call it toffee color. I don't know. But it's a craft kind of die cut sheet that they were on, and I just pulled them all out and punched them all out and put them in this little container because I was using it with the Hope and Kindness collection. So that's what I'm going through. I'm going to pull out quite a few hearts that I'm also not going to end up using, but I'm going to pull them out thinking that I am going to use them, because I really, really wanted to use those dainty flowers, right? So I thought I needed to tie more craft in. Well, the dainty flowers are going to go away, and so are most of the craft bits, except for that label that I punched out, because I love that label. It's so cute. Sorry about the outside noises. Again, I am outside. That is a trash truck. Sorry about that. It is trash day. However, they already picked up my house. I don't know why they're coming back. So I have one more video that is a cleaning of the desk with another one of these layouts that are coming up afterwards, which I haven't edited the video. So I have it clean my desk. I'm going to finish the layout that's on my desk right now, and that's the layout that goes with it. And after that, I don't have any more content. So now would be a great time for you to squeak up and say what kind of content it is that you want to see, because I have 2 more videos to edit, and then I'm fresh out of content and have to create more content. So if now would probably be a good time if you have a special request. If I can make it happen, will certainly do that. So leave that down in the comments down below. You can see I took out my craft mat. The craft mat's just a slick mat that you can ink on, and that you can just wipe that ink right off of there. I did pick mine up at Close to My Heart. Actually, I have a Tim Holtz one, and I have a Close to My Heart one, and I have another one. You can actually get these in the baking aisle. I have one from a baking aisle, and that's the one I cut up. If I just want a little tiny piece to use, I had cut that one up. Anyways, I'm just taking a sponge and dipping it into my sapphire ink, changing the color of that. That is how I got the tan color on it in the first place. When I first die cut these leaves out, I die cut them out in a white cardstock. And when I thought I was going to use it on a previous layout, I turned them tan. Well, now the tan's not working for me, right? I didn't end up using it. So now I am turning them sapphire. If I don't use them as sapphire, I am SOL unless I want to turn them like black or like do some heavy duty flipping them over, adding gesso and blah, and we aren't doing that. It's a tiny leaf die cut that can be reproduced, so it's fine. But that is how you change the color of basically anything if you want to. Okay, so now we're back after those are colored. I walked away and let them dry, and that is one of the worst things that I can do for me personally, is walk away, because when I come back into the room, I am seeing all sorts of different things in my room that end up making it over to my desk as I'm walking there. So you'll see some new things come in. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and commit to the placement of our main papers. Go ahead and stick them down. Now, I did see something that was super cool. When I finished this layout, I like the layout. I do like it. I'm not 100% in love with how it came out, but I do really like the layout. However, I was playing around with it on the trimmer, and I haven't trimmed it yet, but this can be trimmed down to a 12x6. The way I have the design, I can trim this down to a 12x6 if I decide I don't love it as a 12x12. I can also trim it down to an 8.5x11 because I've left a lot of space around either side on the design I used. So that is a very cool thing about this layout that I really like. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and ink the edges of our title piece. It says thankful for a friend like you, and you saw he's moving that yellow piece around. I even had it flipped over to the other side. I thought I'd tuck it in on the sides of the photos right there. Guys, I was blowing off my layout. When you're using the sponges, especially if you have used them previously, you know, maybe you're like me and you just rinse them out and use them over and over and over again, they will start kind of shedding when you're inking. So that's what I was doing. I was blowing off one of the shedded pieces off my layout so it wouldn't get stained. And then I moved to my hands to work over my desk, not over my layout. A lot of times I will work over my layout, and that's how I get smudges quite a bit. So I am trying to make this, like I was saying, I was trying to make this work, this yellow piece work on the sides of the photo. It's not really going to work out, but I am going to play around with it quite a bit. And again, I'm keeping with the corner rounding. And the reason I'm doing that is because that corner rounder was on my desk. So it's kind of like a challenge to myself to have to use corner rounder. So these three pieces right here are scraps. They were in that little die cut jar, or little, I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with words. They were in that die cut jar thing that I had the die cuts in. There were some scrap papers in there, I said. And those are the scrap papers that were in there. They are part of the Hope and Kindness collection as well. On these ones, I'm just trimming them down just a little bit because I decided I am going to be putting these at the top and bottom of the page, and I thought it'd be pretty cool if they were a little bit smaller than the papers they're bumping up next to. See how, like, you can especially see it on the bottom one, see how it's smaller than the thankful for a friend like you. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Now up here at the top, I don't think it's too much smaller up at the top. I think these are part of a 4x6 card, and yeah, they're only a little bit wider than that yellow piece that I trimmed down, but it's okay. It looks cute. I don't end up keeping that dotted paper. I like that dotted paper a lot, but it doesn't make sense, right? It just, I don't know. Looking at it, I have these two pieces that have swashes on them, and then I put the dotted on. I don't know. It just didn't look great to me. So we're going to end up doing away with that dotted piece. Here's where I'm going to put that other leaf. I'm working on it, guys. This is how one of my layouts comes together. I move things around quite a bit. Sorry that I am getting my chesticle in the thing. I apologize for that. That is so cute, right? I love those leaves. Now, when I colored those tan, I didn't love them so much tan, but I do love them sapphire. Again, we're inking the edges, and we're going to pay special attention to the corners. They're a little bit more heavily inked than the sides. We'll go ahead and commit to this and see how close it is to the edge there. I am going to add some more things to here, but from left to right, it doesn't span more than 6 inches of all the things that I put on there. That's why I was saying I can trim this down to a 12 by 6, which would be super, super cool. Also, Kathy and I were talking about 12 by 6s the other day, so it's funny that this layout just kind of came about, and now I can show her and say, hey, look, I could cut this into a 12 by 6. She's visiting her daughter right now, so we haven't been talking a whole lot, but she is doing well in case anybody is interested. We'll go ahead and ink the edges of this as well and pay special attention to the corners on this one. Oh, I love that, right? That, like I said, was part of a 4x6 card. Now, I only put a little bit of adhesive on it because I am going to tuck the yellow underneath, right? I didn't want to have too much adhesive on there. And again, paying special attention to the corners just a little bit. We're going to tuck that under right like that. And I left a little bit of gap in there. I didn't add that much adhesive, so I can tuck this little label under there as well. On this label, I think, is where I'm going to end up putting that Heidi Swap sticker. Yeah, we're going to put a little bit of foam tape. I put 3 of these little mini foam tape dots under it, just on one side, and there's adhesive on the bottom, so it's kind of come down. It's attached to the page at the bottom, but it comes up at the top. I love that. I used to do that a lot, where I'd put, like, especially with flowers or the leaves, I'd make the bottom of the flower, the leaf, or whatever, I'd put adhesive on it, and then on the tips, I would put a little bit of foam tape, and so it'd be flush, and then it'd suddenly pop up, and I just thought that was the coolest thing because of the shadows it casts. I still think it's the coolest thing, but I haven't been doing that as much lately as I used to do in the past. Oh, there's a truck driving by with a brand new shed on it. Someone ordered a new shed. It was a cute one too. Should have flagged him down and said, I could use another shed. I got so much scrapbooking stuff. Okay, I did find this clear sticker. It says you are loved. So I put it right in between Kathy and mine. Put it right between our heads. And here is where I pull out a different embellishment. This is the Paper Studio. So all the things I was playing around with, guys, not many of them stayed. I found these from the Paper Studio. I think I picked these up when Kathy was here and we went and hit that sale that was over at Hobby Lobby. And these are cute. These are the only 2 that had the yellow and the navy blue on it and not so much pink. So those are the only 2 that I pulled out. I'm putting down that Heidi Swap label sticker there. I feel very good that I finally have got that on a page. I loved it so much, and I pulled it out and I took the sticky on the back, and it's just been, it's been around the world in 2 weeks. It's been flopping over everywhere. Okay, so I did pull out a little splatter stamp. We're going to stamp our splatters today instead of actually splatter our splatters. This, I think it's called Artist Textures or something like that. It's a retired one, but we do have a current one that is splatters as well that you can pick up if you'd like. Now, I'm going to stamp it second generation. So I have this piece of white daisy cardstock. I think that's a 4x6 piece. I'm going to stamp it for the first time on that, and then do second generation stamping on the layout. And I think that looks really, really cute. And of course, I love the splatters because, well, I love splatters just because, but also on here, it's supposed to be kind of messy, right? So if I stamp it and I stamp it messed up, it's okay. So you can see I am using this piece of white to also mask. What I'm going to end up doing is, after we're done stamping our splatters on here, I think this 4x6 piece of white daisy cardstock, that looks pretty cool, doesn't it? I think so too. So once we're done stamping on our layout, I am going to finish stamping on that 4x6 piece, just so I can use it on a layout or a card or something at some point in time, because I think it looks cool. Doesn't that look cool? I think it looks cool. Yeah, so we'll finish stamping that as well, so we could use it later. Here I decided to flip it over because it is going flush on the page. The other ones were kind of going up onto another layer as well, so they weren't going to stamp perfect anyways. The one I just stamped was just going directly onto the page, so I went ahead and flipped the mat over. And again, I did want to use this paper for something else, so we're just going to finish stamping it. I'm using one of my business cards to mask so I don't get the blue all over the foam, which I did get some on there because you saw the very first time I stamped, I just went bloop and stamped it directly down and got some of it hanging over and on to the foam mat. This is the back of my Versamat from Close to My Heart. You guys saw me turn it over. Now, I don't usually clean my stamps with the Baby Wop. I usually use the chamois from Close to My Heart, and I also have some stamp cleaner from Close to My Heart as well that I will use. However, I couldn't be bothered to get up, so we are using Huggies baby wipes on this layout. Thank you, Marissa, for leaving those behind last time you guys visited with the kids. She didn't mean to. It was an accident. All right, guys, I am going to go ahead and put these little, are these moths or butterflies? I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and put those back down on the page. And then we're going to pull out some gold glitter gems, also from Close to My Heart, that we are going to put down around the page. Hey, you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, everything is Close to My Heart on this page, except for that little word phrase label. That's Heidi Swap. And these little butterflies, those are actually Paper Studio. Yeah, it looks like everything else on here, including my stamps, are from, also the EK Success Punch. Everything else was from Close to My Heart. That's pretty cool. I do have a lot of Close to My Heart stuff, obviously. Because A, very cool, and also B, you know, I sell their stuff so I can get a discount. Speaking of that, if you guys would like to support my channel, go ahead and check the links down below. You can go to beckybidding.closetomyheart.com and pick yourself something up. I'm also going to put a couple other options down there. I don't know if I'm going to do that on this video or in the future video. I'm going to put a couple other options down there for supporting my channel if you would like. I do not want to become a paid content channel. However, this is what I'm doing, you know, for, you know, work. This is what I'm doing for work right now. So yeah, I will put a couple other options down there and we'll see what happens, guys. All right, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please don't forget to let me know what you want to see next time. If you get it in quick enough, I might have a chance to make that be some upcoming content for this week. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. Sunday would be next week, but still. We are finishing off, like I said, with these gold glitter gems from Close to My Heart. I did that because, okay, you see, I tied that gold bow. Remember the gold ribbon we had on the desk? And I was wrapping it around some pattern paper. It didn't work out. I tied a bow and put it at the end of that leaf, because that leaf, it had the stem and it just abruptly ended, right? So I kind of wanted to cover that up. So I took out that gold bow and put that on there. And so now I have gold. So I went ahead and did with the gold glitter gems, right? So it's all tied in now and it's lovely. And again, most cool part of this is being able to be a 6x12 or an 8.5 by 11, or I can keep it how it is. I'm going to sit with it for a minute and decide. First I got to figure out what I want to say and how much room that's going to take up. Then I can decide on the side I keep it as, or the size I make it, I guess I should say. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Check the links down below, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.